Tonight we're going to take a look at the Arctic Dolphin ADT 180TC temperature control mod that I picked up from Angel Steaks. Go grab a vape and drink and we'll be right back. Alright, so welcome back. Like I said at the beginning, we're going to take a look at the Arctic Dolphin ADT 180TC mod that I picked up at Angel Steaks for $24.99. You know me, you see me every so often. I'll come out with a mod that's relatively cheap, and you know, I'll do the review onto it if it's a viable mod, something that might be interesting to you guys or something like that. Like I said, I like to run through. You don't always have to have the newest and the greatest. There's some other mods out there that are relatively cheap, for especially at someone on a vape budget and wants a nice solid mod, something that can do temperature control, something that can go high wattage. Overall, you know, you want something that's decent, but you don't want to break your wallet. Like I said, and every so often I'll come across something relatively good. This is one here that we're going to take a look at tonight, and then at the end there I'll tell you what my opinion is onto it. But overall, I think it's a pretty decent mod, but you'll get my full opinion at the end there. So, like I said, go grab a vape and a drink, and we're going to dive down and take a look at it right now. Alright, so here we are down below here, and this is the way the box comes in here. It shows you that it's the Arctic Dolphin here, and it shows here, shows that this is silver. It comes in silver and in black. On this side, it tells you that it's the model number, the ADT-180TC for temperature control. Not much here, and then here. On the back here, it gives you your warning label, your specifications. This product is for persons who's of legal smoking age in their country. It tells you that it includes the ADT 180TC, USB cable, and a user's manual. Here's some of the features: constant temperature control, dual 18650 battery, micro USB charging with a 5-volt. We'll get to that. Titanium, nickel, and power mode coil support. Online upgrade support, which I have not done yet, but it says it's a possibility. Voltage value 5 watts to 180 watts. Resistance value is 0.6 to 2.5 ohms. TC resistance value 0.06 to 1 ohm. Input voltage value 6 volt to 8.4 volt. Maximum output voltage 7 volt. Input current value 1 amp to 30 amp. Maximum output current 45 amp. Here's your authenticity seal from Arctic Dolphin, and then it tells you that it's designed in blah 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 here, and it's made in China. So let's open this up here, take a look at it. And here's the mod itself, and it's just a generic box that it comes in, as you'll see here. Very tightly in there, but it's really not made for this mod. It's made for a generic, but that's all right. $25 mod, you know, it is what it is. Here's your user's manual, and it does give you a hex key, which we'll go over, and then there's your USB charging data cord. Let's get that out of the way. There, so here's the user's manual here. Tells you that it's the ADT 180TC user manual. Gives you your thanks for choosing, tells you what the package contents are, tells you a little bit of features here, the specifications, which we've already gone over. There's a picture of it, tells you what the buttons do, the USB port, all the where everything is, and then it has your menu, tells you how to turn it on, what the menu switch is, has your temperature control, your wattage menu. It's pretty well illustrated. It even has some different warning, if you get different warnings that come up, like if you have a short circuit, atomizer missing, low battery, new atomizer, vaping lock, resistance too high, resistance too low, board temperature, even has a standby mode, lock and unlock, different warnings, and then it changes over into I'm assuming Chinese. So that's the manual there. Take a look at the mod here at first here, and the overall length on the mod is 101.6 millimeters this way, 25.1 millimeters going across the top, and 50.7 in length going this way. So there's your dimensions. This thing is very, very heavy. It's very solid. It's made out of aluminum and stainless steel. This weighs 205 grams without any batteries into it. It's a heavy, heavy mod. If you guys have been around and had maybe like the VTR mod when it first came out, that was the one that came in to look ahead of military colors onto it. I still have one actually, and how heavy, solid mod that is. That's what this feels like also. On the front here, here's your fire button. It does have a 0.91 blue OLED screen. And here's your up and down and your menu scrolling, which we'll go over after we throw some batteries into this here. It does have a standard 510 that looks like it's a squonker, but it's not. It's just the way the center pin is, and it is spring loaded, which is good in itself there. And on the bottom here, here's where your charging data port is, and there's where you would take the screws off to put your batteries in, and yours would not have screws into it, scratches like into this. But I've been taking this back and forth to work, so it's getting kind of beat up. It's on my truck, so it slides all around. I'm sure there's scratches all over this thing, but it's still pretty solid. I mean, it's a solid mod, and these little scratches, like I said, they're only, you can see them in here. It's not from anything other than just being on my forklift all day bouncing around. So, but I mean, it's a solid mod. What else can I tell you about it? Let's open it up here from this side here. And these screws that it comes in with here, which is one of my cons in itself, this screw, the Allen wrench that they give you, it's a rather small Allen wrench, but it's a 2.5, so if you ever lose it, it's a 2.5 millimeter. I measured that out. But let's take a look at these screws. And as you can see, there's no venting anywhere onto here. I've blown into this thing. There's no venting whatsoever. So that's one of my cons in itself. If there was a fault with the mod, look how long these screws are that you would have to take, and look how long it is to take these screws out. Let's see if I have my, yeah. But look, these screws, I got my buddy, he's gonna make me some shorter ones, so it's a lot less, but look how long these screws are. I mean, they're very, very long. And you gotta take out 2 of those to replace the batteries, or if you had an issue. So that right there in itself is kind of a con. No venting, con. It says it can be charged through this USB port, and I don't recommend it anyways, but I tried to charge it just because it says it could. And the whole mod in itself, including the batteries, were hot. I'd say within 20 minutes, this whole thing was so hot, I set it outside to let it cool down. But let's take a look inside here, and here's your chip for the mod itself. And then you got the nice sled in there, and it tells you that it's right there. You see that? And then you got your brass contacts down at the bottom there. And on this side, you got just a straight aluminum body. On this side, it tells you which way the batteries go. So this side is positive up, this side is positive down. Let's throw a couple batteries in. I got these eNook. They're new batteries. I got to come up on a review onto them. They say they're a 40 amp, 3100 milliamp battery, milliamp hour battery. They're a good battery. I don't think they're 40 amps, but we'll get to those when we do it. And then when you put this cover back on, if you do that, you won't go to get that on there. So you have to be careful with this wire that is making contact up on top of here. So you got to be, that's another con. But when you put these screws on, the plate onto there, if you don't have it lined up quite right, you're going to have yourself a whole world of problems here. align that. There you go. See how it locked into place? You have to kind of fight with it a little bit. Catch your threads or two. But see how long these are, trying to get these threads into here. This is definitely a con, and I'm not saying all the bad things about this mod, but I want to show you some of the problems that it does have. So now with the batteries, it's almost double the weight. It's very, very heavy. You could actually kill somebody. Now to turn this on, it's not your standard 5 clicks on. What you have to do is you just take your power button and hold it, and you'll see it fires up. There's your logo, and this tells you that it's the ADT, and there's where I last had it on as 80 watts, 80.1 watts. Shows nothing on the ohms because I don't have an atomizer onto it, and it shows your volts. Again, it's going to be all zeros because, again, I don't have any atomizer on. You can see the battery is full. To go through the menu, you got to hold down both the positive and the negative. All right, and your first one here shows a little sun. So if you want to get into that, you got to click onto that, and then here's where you would adjust your brightness. So you can dim that down or bring it all the way up. I like it at the 100%. So then to get out of that mode, click your power button. You go to the next mode. This is where you would lock and unlock your device. If you, right there, it shows that it's unlocked. If it's got the check mark onto it like that, and if you want to lock the mode, that would be the one to lock it. So now if you were to go out of this device, and then you would hold your power button down, and then it brings you back, and now every time you go to do something, it's going to show that it's locked. So then you go back in, and change it back to unlocked. Alright, now this next mode here is where you can flip your screen from left to right. So if you're that way there, you got it that way. And again, hold your power button down, and now we're back to it. So let's go back into here, go to the next mode. Here's your serial number, tells you what serial number it is, so when you go onto their website to do the upgrade, you'll need to know, I think you do need to know that serial number. So again, go back out. Now your next one here is going to be your puff counter. As you can see, I got 692 puffs, but you can set that so it'll never go off or it won't count. You can have it do whatever you, I mean, it's all into the manual itself there. So let's get out of that one. Here is how long you can set your draw for. So if you want it, normally default is 10 seconds, but you can go up to 15 is where I normally use it. It'll go all the way down to 3, all the way up to 20. So if you want to draw for 20 seconds, this will allow you to do it. I like it at 15. And your next one is going to be your Fahrenheit or Celsius. I use Fahrenheit for my temperature control. Alright, and your next one here is your power mode. This is your nickel, titanium power. And if you wanted to be in your nickel, you would go to your nickel mode here, hold and press your power button, and now it still goes right back to your wattage, but you got to click your power button 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Now it shows that we're at 491 Fahrenheit, and then you can adjust your temperature to however you want. This will go all the way up to, like I said at the beginning, 650, and it stops there. All the way down to I think it's 200 Fahrenheit. And then again, if you wanted to be in Celsius, you would go over and change that to there. Now to go back into here, you can go in through and if you wanted to go into Fahrenheit or Celsius, there's where you would click onto it for Fahrenheit or Celsius. So go back into there. And then again, if you wanted to go into titanium or regular power mode, once you're in power mode, you hit the button and then it brings you back in, and then you're still how it shows here into here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're back into your regular power mode, ready to fire. It says when you get that little warning there, it's because I do not have an atomizer on there. And then to power off the unit, you go through the menu. And there's the one for the power. Press that and it tells you shut down. And now it's off. To start it back up again. And now we're powered back up. Let me grab a tank here. I got my TFV4. We're going to throw onto here. With it being a 25.1 millimeter crossed, this TFV4 looks tits on there. It looks really, really good. And it's going to ask you new atomizer, up for yes, down for no. So I'm running, it's a stainless steel, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're into there and we're good to go. Let me take a rip onto this and we'll take it up top and we'll talk on it. Alright, so welcome back up on top. Again, the product we took a look at was the Arctic Dolphin ADT 180TC temperature control mod. Like I said, I picked this up at Angel Six for $24.99. That's a steal in itself there. 180 watts, temperature control, downfall. It only does nickel and titanium, but I do run stainless steel onto this. I just run it in my nickel, and I keep my temperature down. And I can use it with the stainless steel. That's one of the reasons why I do like the stainless steel, but I'm not a big fan of nickel or titanium. I do it for testing, but I'm not a big fan of it. Some of the pros and some of the cons. We'll start off with the pros. The pros, it's a sweet ass mod. I mean, especially with that TFV4, it is just sexy as hell. Feels really comfortable in your hand. It's got a nice contour. If you got a good sized hand, I mean, I got a big hand in it. I can't get my hand around it. So it's a good size mod. It's solid. There's absolutely no rattles whatsoever. It fires instantly. You know, a lot of them have that little half a second or so before it fires up. This one, right away. Every atomizer, every tank fits nice and flush onto it with the floating 510 onto there. All excellent. The battery life onto this, I can vape it where I work. I vape all day long. I carry it just like if I'm home or anything. I'm walking around with it in my hand, and I go through almost 50 mils a day. So I do a lot of vaping. I still get 6 hours out of this, and that's solid 6 hours. And I'm running this at 80 watts, and I'm, like I said, it's 6 hours solid. And so, I mean, I get excellent battery life. I like the screen. It's nice and easy to read. Now, the cons. First one is there's no venting on here whatsoever. Absolutely none. I've blown into it. I've blown in through the USB. There's no venting whatsoever, so that is a con. I have a buddy of mine that's a machine shop, and he already took a look at it, and he's gonna put some vent holes in it for me. So when I do get done with that, I'll take a video of it after it's all been drilled out, just to give you guys an idea. It's not a big deal. It's a $25 mod. Another con, those long ass screws. Again, my buddy that's doing that is gonna make me some shorter ones, so I only need to catch a few threads into there instead of those long screws. You don't need, you know, industrial length screws to hold this together. Again, it's just my opinion. It says that it can be charged through the USB port, and like I told you, the whole mod, the whole device, everything got hot. I set it outside. It just, after 20 minutes, it was hot. So don't charge it through your through the USB. Excuse me. The menu is kind of funky until you get used to it. But it is kind of funky. But like I said, once you get used to it, you know, do we need a puff counter? That's up to you. I like where you can adjust your time, but I don't see anybody drawing for 20 seconds. But again, that's up to you. It only does nickel and titanium. Like I said, I do cheat it a little bit with the stainless steel, only because of the settings. But if you don't have any of those anything for stainless onto it, I know they come out with the 210. They come out with this new model recently, within the last couple months. It's the ADT 210 TC, which does the stainless steel. But like I said, again, $25 mod. The question is, if I was to lose this, would I go out and buy another one? $25? Yeah. Knowing the pros and the cons onto it that I've seen, yeah, it's still a solid mod. I mean, this is, you see the scratches onto it. It's on my forklift. It's, you know, it's bouncing around. I've dropped this thing. It's solid. It's solid. It's a good mod. I would definitely recommend it. I think that's about it. Again, the name of the company that I got this from was Angel Six, www.angel6.com. I'll leave their link down below. Product we took a look at was the Arctic Dolphin ADT 180 TC mod. I would definitely recommend it, even though, like I said, you know the pros and the cons that you see here now, but definitely, yeah, I'd go out and buy another one again. All right, people, that's going to do it for tonight. So until the next time, keep vaping.